Okay, so we got some news today here about New England Patriots star wide receiver Stefon Diggs. Out of the New York Post, Stefon Diggs allegedly slapped and choked his female employee in a dispute about money. This is according to a police report that was filed. This article was published on December 30th, so today. The alleged incident was December 2nd. Let's take a look and see what happened here. According to the New York Post, Stefon Diggs allegedly hit and then choked a female employee during a dispute over money earlier this month. The report states that the alleged incident occurred at Stefon Diggs' home in Massachusetts on December 2nd, which was one day after the Patriots star helped his team to a Monday Night Football victory over the New York Giants. Stefon Diggs and the alleged victim, identified by multiple reports as his former personal chef, got into a quarrel about money before the NFL star attacked her, hitting her and choking her in his home. So this is Stefon Diggs right here. He's New England Patriots star wide receiver, their best pass-catching option at the wide receiver position, a veteran wide receiver, and their star free agent acquisition at the beginning of this season. And allegedly hitting and slapping women around in his home, choking them. This is a former, allegedly personal chef that was working for him, and it's a dispute about money. The woman who had allegedly been employed by Diggs until she quit following their December 2nd altercation first made the allegations to police on December 16th, though she initially said that she did not want to pursue charges. According to the report, on December 23rd, however, she tells cops that she does want to move forward with the case. So interesting timeline of events here with Stefon Diggs. Allegedly, he, with his personal chef, she's a woman, allegedly Diggs slapped her around and choked her out in his home in Massachusetts on December 2nd. His personal chef in his home, and then she files a police report on December 16th and says that she doesn't want to actually press charges in the case or pursue charges, and then has a change of heart, and by December 23rd now she wants to press charges and move forward with the case. So Stefon Diggs, this is Stefon Diggs right here. Apparently he's dating rapper and former stripper Cardi B. Now facing one felony count of strangulation and one count of misdemeanor assault. So this is a felonious or felony allegation. So felony strangulation, misdemeanor assault over the claims. He's due in court for arraignment on January 23rd. Wow, just 2 days before the scheduled kickoff of the AFC Championship game. Right, so New England Patriots are right now, they're the 2 seed in the AFC conference, and they are still in contention for the 1 seed, which would give them a bye week and make them front runners to actually make it to the AFC Championship game and potentially even the Super Bowl. So the timing of this is really going to be tough for New England Patriots as a team. Huge distraction for him personally as well. He's going to be due in court for arraignment just 2 days before the scheduled kickoff of the AFC Championship game. So this is Stefon Diggs right here with, I guess he's supposedly a picture of him with his girlfriend. He's dating rapper Cardi B, who used to also be a stripper, and obviously that's what she looks like. She looks like a complete slut, but it is what it is. I mean, we'll see his other story too. He's kind of a piece of shit himself. He's allegedly accused of also drugging and raping a man. According to TMZ reports, so we'll look at that as well. There's a lot going on with him that's kind of been brushed under the rug, allegedly, and we'll take a look at some of that. Here he is with Cardi B again. Obviously you can see with all the neck tattoos, clear signs of mental illness. It's an indicator of a very disturbed person when they have tattoos all over their neck and their face. And this is the kind of person that that we're talking about, that we're dealing with here. So Diggs, through his attorney, says these charges are unsubstantiated, they're uncorroborated, and they were never investigated because they did not occur. the timing and the motivation for making the allegations is crystal clear. They're trying to say basically that the female chef, the female employee of Stefon Diggs, is only saying this because we're getting close to NFL playoffs. So that's their excuse, is that it's all about the timing of it. But allegedly he slapped her around and choked her on December 2nd. So, I mean, it is what it is. We're still in December, so it makes sense. The timeline makes sense to me. He beat her ass and choked her out on December 2nd. She filed a police report on the 16th, and she decided to press charges on the 23rd. So, really it is what it is. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't settle this out of court. This guy's worth many, many multiple tens of millions of dollars. He might even be a 9-figure, $100 million plus career earner. I mean, he could have just made this whole thing probably go away with money, but he's probably too arrogant and too prideful. First he choked her, then he slapped her around, and it was about money in the first place, so he probably didn't want to pay her to make it go away, and that's why we're seeing it in the news. So it is what it is. This is this guy right here, Stefon Diggs. Again, look at, neck tattoos, real kind of, this is a strong indicator of mental illness when you're covered in tattoos on your neck and your face. He's a very disturbing type of person. Obviously, we see these guys on the football field. They're our heroes on the gridiron. They make amazing plays, but off the field, this is the type of guy right here that allegedly slaps women around that work for him and chokes them out. And that's who this guy is. Here he is with New England Patriots in his uniform. Says, we'll continue to gather information and cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities. And the NFL is necessary. So it is what it is. So they're just denying it. The allegations are basically that, he had a personal chef that was working at his home in Massachusetts. They had a dispute over money. He slapped her around, he punched her, and he basically choked her out. So, that's the allegations on Stefon Diggs, according to the police report and according to the New York Post. There's also another story here by TMZ Sports that came out a little while back. It looks like November 16th, but Stefon Diggs sues influencer over wild allegations, asserting that the influencer lied in order to go viral. This is the influencer here. This man alleges that Stefon Diggs basically drugged and raped him. So if this guy's claim is true, and we don't know, this guy's claim is alleged. He's alleging these things. If it's true, then Stefon Diggs is potentially a rapist. If it's true, he's obviously either a homosexual or he's a bisexual man. I mean, he's dating rapper Cardi B, so we don't know if dating rapper Cardi B is for show, like a beard, and he's really gay, or if he's bisexual and he goes both ways. But that's on the basis that, like, if this is true or not. Stefon Diggs is going after a social media star. That's this guy right here, who accused him of drugging and sexually assaulting and later conspiring to kill him, with the NFL star calling the claims pure fiction. Well, one thing I'll say right off the bat, conspiring to kill him. I mean, we're talking about a story right now in the New York Post where Stefon Diggs, over a dispute about money with his personal chef, has allegedly choked her, slapped her, and punched her. Right? So this is the type of guy you're dealing with right here, right? This is the type of guy that, I mean, come on, think about it like this. This guy's made tens of millions, if not over $100 million in his career. He has a dispute about money with his personal chef. I mean, how much money are we talking about? A couple, 5,000, 10,000. I mean, what are we talking about for a personal chef? This guy's made tens of millions, if not over $100 million in his career, and he's allegedly choking her, slapping her, and punching her in his home. And so it really corroborates, it really makes this guy's claim seem more realistic. This is obviously a violent man. He's violent against women for sure. It's in a police report that's being alleged against him right now. And this social media star is basically accusing Stefon Diggs of drugging him, of sexually assaulting him, and then also later conspiring to kill, to murder him. So, I mean, serious allegations against Stefon Diggs with, Obviously, Diggs calling the claims fiction. The lawsuit which TMZ Sports obtained was filed by 31-year-old Stefon Diggs on October 1st, with the Patriots star wideout accusing the would-be social media influencer Christopher Blake Griffith of concocting a lurid story about him stemming from an alleged incident at Stefon's Rockville, Maryland home. So this is an incident that took place at Stefon Diggs' home in Maryland, which is his home state. He's originally from Maryland. This guy was at his home. He's alleging that he was drugged and that Stefon Diggs raped him, and then that Stefon Diggs threatened to kill him or conspired to kill him. And he just says it's all fiction, which seems to be kind of the knee-jerk reaction he has to all of these allegations. Now, Stefon Diggs filed a lawsuit against this guy, this Christopher Blake Griffith, on October 1st. So this is this past October. And in the allegations of him slapping and choking his female chef in his home in Massachusetts, December 2nd. So not a good 2 months for Stefon Diggs, to say the least. This is a picture of Stefon Diggs when he was wearing a Buffalo Bills uniform. He used to play. Stefon Diggs is currently playing for New England Patriots. Last season, he played for Houston Texans. At one point, he played a couple years for the Buffalo Bills, and then obviously started his career in the Minnesota Vikings organization, originally from Maryland. Diggs says he, along with Griffith and other influencers, hit up a local club after a charity basketball game in Washington, D.C., before later returning to Stefon's home. The Pats receiver says he went to his bedroom while his assistant asked Griffith to leave, capping a fairly mundane night. So it sounds like, very, according to Diggs, basically they went to, a charity basketball game. They went back to Stefon Diggs' home, and then says Stefon Diggs went to his bedroom, and his assistant asked Griffith to leave. So maybe he went back to his bedroom, maybe he didn't. Maybe he went back to his bedroom after he drugged and raped this guy, this Christopher Blake Griffith. I guess if he did drug him and rape him, I guess you could see this is his type of man that he would like to drug and rape. He likes I guess light-skinned guys with a beard. So that's his type. It's kind of messed up either way. More than 2 years later, though, in the summer of 2025, Stefon Diggs says Griffith blasted out widely false statements about not only that night after the charity basketball game, but also an alleged violent incident days later that he claimed the football player orchestrated. Wow. So Griffith says Stefon drugged and sexually assaulted him. So that's what this guy's claiming. He's claiming that Stefon Diggs drugged and sexually assaulted him before conspiring to have him killed to suppress his gay bisexual secrets from becoming exposed. Now, anybody that knows the Aaron Hernandez story, who was a New England Patriots tight end, the reason it came out, the reason Aaron Hernandez murdered the people he murdered was for the same reason, to suppress his gay bisexual secrets from becoming exposed. So that's what this guy's saying. Allegedly, this guy right here, this Christopher Blake Griffith, is alleging that Stefon Diggs, the star wide receiver, drugged him and raped him in his home after a charity basketball game, and that and basically he's saying Stefon Diggs is basically had also conspired to have him killed in order to suppress his gay and bisexual secrets from becoming exposed. So, a wild story. This is the backdrop behind the story about Diggs choking and slapping and beating his female chef in his home. Diggs says Griffith not only posted the nonsense allegations to his tens of thousands of followers, but also tagged the NFL and Patriots social media accounts, as well as Uggs, with whom Stefon Diggs has a sponsorship deal. Uggs is a brand of clothing and shoes. The Patriots star clearly had enough, pulling the trigger on a libel lawsuit accusing Griffith of intentionally and knowingly lying for online clout, and in the process seriously hurting Stefon Diggs' reputation. We reached out to Griffith's attorney, Jake Lebuowitz, who said Mr. Griffith is looking forward to showing the world in court that regardless of the fairy tale fabricated by Mr. Diggs, high-priced New York lawyers, he's the victim of Mr. Diggs' unwanted sexual advances and Stefon Diggs' brother's violent attacks. So the plot thickens here. Stefon Diggs has a brother that plays football for the Dallas Cowboys, who's also has career earnings and contracts in the tens of millions of dollars. So the allegation is basically by this influencer is alleging Stefon Diggs, after a charity basketball game, invites him back to his home where he drugs him and sexually assaults him. I don't know what that means. I guess maybe that's rape. Maybe he sodomized him and raped him in his butt, basically, in his butthole. So Stefon Diggs allegedly rapes this man and then threatens to kill him or conspires to kill him with his brother, Trayvon Diggs, who plays football for the Dallas Cowboys organization. So this is something that's been, very, very quiet. You haven't heard a lot of reporting on this. I'd be interested to see if anything comes out about this now that you have, Stefon Diggs also, allegedly slapped and choked a female employee in dispute over money in his home. So, not a lot of good things going on here with Stefon Diggs. This guy, where there's smoke, there's fire. Right now these are allegations. Nobody's knows if they're true or they're false. There's police reports that are filed. There's lawsuits that are being, conducted. But a lot of smoke here with Stefon Diggs and a lot of drama. And so we'll see how this all shakes out. The story will continue, the saga will continue, and we'll keep tabs on that. If you found this podcast interesting, go ahead and give it a like. Share it if you'd like on your Facebook, your social media. Subscribe to the podcast. Thank you for your time, and I'll be back with you again on the next one. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.